Welcome back. This is Retail Field Report. I'm Ann Mazinga, and we are coming to you with our last interview from today's CommerceNext show here in New York City. And before we get started, I want to give a big thank you to the team at Zilker Trail for making all of our CommerceNext coverage possible today. You can reach out to the team there at getzilker.com. That's getzilker.com and find out how they're helping brands like Nespresso, Skechers, and more with their digital projects and teams. All right, I'm going to introduce my final guest today. I have Justin Emig. Justin is the Chief Digital and Technology Officer for Artisant Lane Furniture Collective. Justin, thanks for making time for me today.
Thank you, Ann.
How's your show going so far?
You know, I love CommerceNext because I always say it's a small conference. It's pound for pound. The content's great. You know, it's a little different than the larger conferences, and I actually enjoy that. I get to enjoy sessions. So
also, the content is great because you were on stage this morning.
Lucky to be selected.
Yes, well, we'll ask you about that in a minute.
Yeah.
I want to start first by kind of giving our audience a little bit of a background on Artisant Lane.
Yep.
What is it? There's an umbrella of products, so tell us a little bit more about that for those who might not be familiar.
Yeah, Artisant Lane, we're a holding company of luxury furniture brands. So we manufacture, custom made to order furniture. We have retail, we service the retail, we service direct to consumer, contract hospitality, as well as the interior design market. We also have a large private label business. So we have a lot of really good retail partners, including Restoration Hardware.
So what do you oversee then in your role of overseeing technology and digital for Artisant Lane?
So
what does that look like?
We have 5 manufacturing facilities in the United States. So all of those have tech. So we have 2 ERP systems. We have thousands of workstations and scanners and everything to make furniture in the United States. So we have all that, as well as anything web and digital. Everything kind of runs under. Again, we have a direct consumer brand as well as retail. Brand. So anything tech, I'm the one that gets called.
You're the one that gets the phone call.
Yeah.
Well, so then what is the most complex problem that you're trying to solve right now, Justin?
Some of it is in the answer I gave. So we are a multi-brand organization that manufactures furniture. That means we have multiple ERP systems. We have a lot of legacy technology. We have processes that are very manual. They've been doing for 45 years, the same process. So being able to bridge the gap of introducing technology into these systems without being run out of the building is important for us. So we have to, we're living in a disruptive time. So my job is to kind of bridge that gap, find opportunities, but ensure the organization doesn't lose the heritage that built what it is.
So then how do you take that challenge and how and where does it fit in the overall company list of priorities that you're tasked with now?
So I'm blessed that the organization is focused on technology.
Okay.
So we're definitely working on modernizing. These things take time. So you got to keep the patient alive while the heart transplant's happening. So we're kind of in that process now, and but also we look at again, AI is can't be at a conference in 2026 without talking about AI, and we look at, it's not a panacea. We're trying to find, I call them skirmishes. We're trying to find small friction points throughout the organization that why can't we optimize this? There's one problem we've been doing for 40 years. Why don't I fix that?
Yeah.
And then these, you wake up and the groundswell is there, and then you disrupted the organization. But trying to be a panacea of ripping everything out, putting everything in, comes with a lot of friction.
So I want to dig a little bit deeper into that. You were on a panel this morning. You were talking about how to use AI to get more profit out of your first-party data.
Sure. Yeah.
How does that work with you and your consumers at Artisant Lane? How are you thinking about that?
Yeah, the line I shared on stage was every question is a signal. Every customer question is a signal. And for years, I think the biggest difference that AI has allowed us is, we've always had thousands of conversations. You think email, chat, phone, even word of mouth, retail experiences, all of these have happened, but we just couldn't do anything with it. They all lived in random silos, and it was so dirty that we were like, oh yeah, somebody should clean that up. And you can have a team of engineers and architects. Well, LLMs are pattern recognition machines.
Yeah.
So why don't you just do that? So I looked and I said, we have so much product insight sitting in these conversations that are disparate. So why don't we just mine them? And so we mine it, we categorize it, and then we're able to honestly create content on a like a recursive basis. It gets itself better every time, so that the next person who has that question, which they will,
Yeah.
and we're able to answer. And we sell. I mean, we have millions of furniture variants.
Right.
So not everybody, they want their furniture to be unique. Well, they're going to have the same question.
Yeah.
Somebody else will have a similar question. We have to use the data we already have to be more predictive as opposed to reactive.
So, Justin, I have a question for you. You just made me think of something. How does that fall then on the people working underneath you? Like, are you kind of encouraging everyone to create their own models, or to add something to that database, or to feed these LLMs so that they can you have that database for the next person to come to? Like, how do you think about that systemically, especially leading the technology and digital organization?
Yeah, so it's been, honestly, we'll say 18 months ago, 16 months ago, probably, we did the same as all organizations, get everybody a ChatGPT license and say, go have fun.
Right.
And, so what they do is they find, oh my gosh, it'll write my better email, or it'll organize the spreadsheet. Or, so they start adopting it a little bit, and then I said, okay, once I find a repeatable task, like you're using ChatGPT or whatever the tool is every day, great, let's repeat that.
Yeah.
Let's automate that.
Yes.
So then we find these little battles throughout. And then I hired, we transitioned somebody who was an engineer into an IT role, and I treat him like a consultant. So I was like, you don't work for the company, you're a consultant in essence. I drop him into a department. His job is to 6 weeks, document everything that's happening, and then come back with a plan and say, okay, I see this is a friction point, this one, we can use technology here. I don't try not to say the words AI, like we use technology to improve this process. So it is one that now the organization's seeing these the things that they used to manually do every day.
Yeah.
They're seeing it, the machines do it, and they're like, well, what else could I do?
Right.
Like they're actually embracing it as opposed to being, actually this technology is stealing my job. They actually feel like it's making me more efficient. I don't have to manually type that in a spreadsheet anymore.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
it's been fun.
really smart.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's cool.
Okay, so I'm kind of blown away as I'm processing that. But what, as you're looking back kind of on the last year and things like this that you've done, I mean, really out of nowhere, out of necessity, you're kind of creating these processes as you go.
It's true.
What are you most proud of that your team has done, that you've, what you've led the team to do? Like, how, when you think about that, what comes to mind first?
I mean, to be honest, it's going to sound cliche, but it's the organizational adoption. I think that's been the success, because they could have easily run me out and run my team out and say, we have this, we don't need you. We've been doing the same process for 50 years. One specific example is there is a young lady, she's been there 45 years doing the same job and a transportation element.
Sure.
And again, she does the exact same thing for 45 years. She's going to be retiring soon. And there's a lot of concern. What happens? Institutional knowledge of 45 years walks out.
Absolutely.
Well, we built, in essence, an automation that does what she does. And she's like, I love this. I wish I had this. She easily could have said, you guys are trying to run me out of the building. And so we, in essence, built her a little TMS.
Yeah.
And we could have hired Manhattan or some of the great firms, amazing technology, but we didn't need it. We needed Janice's app.
Yeah.
And we built it for Janice. And so now she's happy as a clam. So those are the moments that I get really excited about. Or when I walk into the office and somebody stops me and they're like, Justin, so I uploaded this to something, and this was amazing. I'm like, man, I'm happy. So to me, that is what I'm excited about. And the team has done such a good job of shepherding this and the hand-to-hand combat every day that they're doing. So the organization's loving it. So it's cool. Those are the cool parts. That's the rewarding part of the job.
Well, I mean, really impressive work that you're doing, Justin.
Sure.
And I think it's so encouraging to hear the use cases that you talk about, especially the Janet gem that you've created that has this, all of her 45 years of institutional knowledge that's accessible to any team member now. And I think it's back to your earlier point of allowing the people to really focus on the more strategic tasks and not be bogged down with, I'm just trying to figure out, where this file is or how to fulfill this order. You've got that nailed down. So well done.
We're trying. We're getting there.
Well, Thank you so much, Justin,
very
for
welcome.
taking
Thank
the
you,
time.
Anne. Yeah, thank you.
I want to give a big thank you again to Zilker Trail for helping us bring you today's coverage. Again, check them out at getzilker.com. And until next time, stay curious.